with the arrival of State Farm and the buildings and everything they're building, it would be wonderful if you could give those people some type of green space so
It's
that
very
they...
near State Farm.
Right, that's what I thought. So I think it would be beneficial to have a park in that area so that people can at least walk outside and see grass once during their day. And that would be, I believe, beneficial for Dunwoody if we could do that.
What we're saying, Jim, is not just a park, but some green space.
Right.
Which is the word, you said times, maybe it's a little more clear.
Take a walk at Cox Enterprises and see what they've done with their landscaping. They are a responsible green company, and they've done a phenomenal job landscaping, putting up new buildings. There's green space. They've cared about their employees. Anybody can go over there and walk among the nature. And we look over here at Dunwoody, and there's just no comparison whatsoever. This is piecemeal developing by people who haven't got a clue what they're doing, and who are making decisions based on one person recommending one company or one firm or one this or one that, and it's just hodgepodge, put it together and hope it comes out right because we've got the money. Or someone says it's ugly and I want it gone. I'm sorry, but that's just not the way to run a city. Take a look, walk over there, drive through the development that Cox Enterprises has put up for their people, and you will be flabbergasted. And you'll come back to Dunwoody and say, what have we allowed these people to do to our beautiful city?
The idea for an amphitheater keeps coming up, but isn't that a possible situation in Brook Run? With parking and everything already there, and we had something going there.
The question is, what's going on with the amphitheater? And the quick answer to that is, right now, there's a plan for a 5-acre park.
I'm talking about Brook Run.
No, hear me out. I'll get
Okay.
Right now, there is a plan for a 5-acre park on the old hospital site, and the site of the park is the westernmost part of the hospital site, so at what would be the northeast corner of Shallowford and Pernashow. Okay, it is a 5-acre park, and right now, part of that design includes an amphitheater. I will tell you that is a controversial element because it's right next to Shallowford, and a lot of people think that the noise would make that a very questionable location. I don't know where that's going. I don't know what the sense is from the rest of the council. It's on the master plan as it sits right now, but that master plan can change fairly easily. It's not like we're in detailed engineering, ready to go to bid at this stage. It's master plans at this point. I happen to believe it would be better located over at Brook Run from a traffic standpoint, traffic noise standpoint. It also probably makes sense if you can put it somewhere over towards the middle school. It might be something that the middle school could use, like a theater group with the schools. It might be something they could utilize as part of their curriculum. Whereas over at at Shallowford, that wouldn't be so possible, or be much more difficult logistically. Peggy?
What some people have said about piecemeal this lady, because I feel it's incumbent on the council to dig into the information that Warren gives them and ask pertinent questions before they agree to a project. It won't cause a runoff. Oh yeah, it won't cause a runoff. Okay, let's vote for that. And I believe that these council people, and now we have one who can check contracts out and be sure that we don't put a 12-foot concrete sidewalk in Wheeler, connect to Wheeler property, and have somebody What I have heard in the past, at Brookline, the old theater, that used to be functional over there when it was, another facility. I understand, that it had been proposed previously that that be turned into an amphitheater. The city was talked into not demolishing it as they had done another beautiful building down by the dog park. But I had heard that that was a proposal to have an amphitheater over there. If that were expanded, easily drop that over on the 5-acre park. Put the money, the effort, the beauty into Brookline Park.
I got a question. In business, when you get a contract and you mess up, what normally happens? You're held accountable and you don't get hired again. But our city goes and hires people that screw up, and then they go back and give them another. What I'd like you to do is to see if there can be some system or procedure to look at contracts. And if it's the low bidder, they just don't get the work because they did a crummy job before. And also, I think you can get bonding on some of these projects. And if the contractor screws up, the bond pays for the screw up. And we sort of skip that. Now, you all speak to that, and I know you know more than I do.
Well, Fran and I are both in the insurance business. In business, when you, a lot of these people, I do a lot of bonding for contractors that do municipal work. And let me tell you something, they have to get bonded, and they gotta get a, what do you call it? Maintenance bond. So they don't just walk away and say, oh, sorry, the concrete failed 6 months later. They gotta keep the project up. City of Decatur does that. A lot of these municipalities do that. I did bring that up in the last meeting when I met, so hopefully that's being done. Since I'm up, if I can indulge for 2 minutes, I want to echo the man's thoughts about the Rotary. Fight like hell against the Rotary. I hope you're against it. Let me tell you why. You know, you get a crazy suggestion from a consultant we probably paid money for, who's in Oregon, who's going to tell us how to do a damn Rotary. Are you kidding me? I lived in Boston, Massachusetts, which has multiple rotaries. Now, when you're trying to solve a traffic flow problem, which the guy in Oregon is doing, the rotaries are a great suggestion. Make no mistake, our roads are under attack currently. We're patting ourselves on the back by removing the tolls at Georgia 400. The only reason those tolls have been removed is because it's an antiquated way of collecting tax money. As you know, the governor and his infinite wisdom has created a hot lane on I-85, which is snarling the cities, the highways every night. Guess where those people are coming? They're coming through Dunwoody. And a lot of us here are upset about the roads and the traffic, right? Well, if you make a rotary at Burmack and Womack, all you're doing is encouraging more traffic, Jim. You've got to fight against that. You've got to fight. The other thing these consultants don't take into account is, in a rotary, and hold these people accountable when they go for it on the city council, you yield to the left. Now, people who use Vermac are Dunwoody people. They're going to be yielding to all these cut-through people going down Womack trying to get to flipping Jimmy Carter. Fight it.
Yes, sir.
Al and I are very lucky. We have the freedom to move around the country at will. We have relatives in Massachusetts and we have relatives overseas. In both places, we deal with rotaries. In Massachusetts, the rotaries are used to access multi-lane bridges leading from one city to another. Nowhere where we travel in Massachusetts are they used in small cities like this one. Traffic lights are used to manage the traffic. People wait in line until it's time for them to move. In a rotary, you're dealing with a constant flow of traffic. And if people don't know the rules of a rotary, you're going to have accidents. And people are going to try to dash through that rotary as fast as they can. When we go to Milano, where there are 11 million people in the city, and 33 million cars in the city, as hard as that is to believe. Driving there requires the patience of a saint and the nerves of steel. And we drive in Milano. They do not use rotaries. It would be like taking your life in your hands. They use traffic lights. They use stop signs. If the stop signs aren't working where the Oregon consultant wants to put a rotary, and that's a small intersection for a rotary, believe me, then put in four-way traffic lights and let people wait their turn to make a turn. Now, given some of the people that use our city for a cut-through, if you're coming down and your lane merges, and you all know where I'm talking about, right where the sushi restaurant is and Chick-fil-A and all that, we've got people who think when your lane ends, you have the right to just smash into the car on your left because you need to be there. Wait your turn has no meaning. Put in four-way traffic signals. People know how to use those. And if they have to wait their turn, they wait their turn. Put in a turn lane. We know how to use those. A rotary at that intersection makes absolutely no sense. And I'm telling you, from dealing with this every year for months at a time, that's not the intersection for a rotary. After all this money for a consultant, I could have told you that for free.
Question about the rotary. Can a school bus get around the rotary?
If it's big enough,
And it's a small
One of the big
intersection.
concerns is that's a real small rotary and larger trucks are gonna have problems with it.
Yep.
Fire trucks in particular, ladder trucks in particular.
Ambulances.
I would like to say something just in defense of Brook Run. I don't know how many people know it, but there's Brook Run. A lot of people don't know it, but I believe there's some money coming from DeKalb County for that facility.
We hope.
We hope. Well,
I told my president that.
but I think the city is wise holding off on doing a lot of refurbishing in that area until we see if that money is coming in, because it has to be earmarked to be spent in Brook Run. So why would we want to get, hopefully, I mean, we all bought our lottery ticket. Let's hope it is the millions of dollars. And if it is, we're going to have a fantastic facility there. But right now, I think that is one place where the city is using real good sense. Now, let's give them some credit where they're using it. And I think that we need to back off on Brook Run. I think the amphitheater is a good idea, that they can build it when we get our millions. But I think that people need to know these things. It needs to be put in the paper. The press, you're here. And we don't need to be making a lot of changes. We don't even need to change the dog park right now.